Steven wasn't a bad kid. He just couldn't sit still, he talked too much, and he was the class clown. The kind of kid teachers called a distraction. So Steven ended up in detention a lot. The teacher who ran it, Mr. Barlow, I'm Mr. Barlow. He was one of those quiet, by-the-book teachers. Button-down shirt, coffee mug that said discipline equals freedom. Well, Steven noticed that in detention, Mr. Barlow didn't really do much. He just said, no talking, and he would just yell at people who did. Mr. Barlow, you know that doesn't really work, right? You think you can run detention better than me? Yeah, I do. First 2 weeks go by, and Steven starts running detention. He was even in there when he didn't have a detention himself. He began playing calming music, he had snacks, and he told the people, help yourself to some food, listen to some tunes, and just do your work, guys. Talk amongst yourselves, but don't get too crazy. And immediately, the students that would have detention respected it. It worked very well. Huh. So do you plan on running detention for me? I mean, I already do. Okay, fine. You're my assistant then. And this just took off. Steven began organizing seats, having people check in, cracking jokes to keep it light. He would even play movies in the background while students worked. And it actually stopped feeling like a punishment and more like a structure. Even the principal notices. Mr. Barlow, you're doing amazing with detention. These students are behaving so well these days. Actually, you can thank Steven for that. Steven eventually graduated from high school, but he became a teacher and came back to that school to teach his own class. That's amazing. A freezing rainstorm hits overnight. Morning comes, and every single porch on the block is a sheet of ice. People are stepping outside trying to go to work, but they're slipping all over the place. But one kid, Billy, he planned for this. He saw the winter storm warning early, so the day before he went to Home Depot and he bought 4 giant bags of ice melt with his Christmas money. And that morning at 7 a.m., he's outside in slip-proof boots, dragging a red wagon full of salt. $3, I'll melt your whole porch and driveway. $3, I'll melt it all. And the people that didn't have salt themselves, because this was a very unexpected storm, they paid him. Take my money. Oh, take my money. Milk, milk. So he's sprinkling, he's scraping, ice is melting, neighbors are getting to their cars, other neighbors see, they want to use his service as well. Business is booming on this crazy morning. And anyone who says, I'm not paying for your salt, fine, then you can slip. Wait, come back, here. They always give in. He made some really decent money that day, and ever since then, they called him the Winter King. He was a lifesaver, and honestly, genius. Gotta respect the hustle. Christmas break had just started, and this one kid in the neighborhood had a huge yard. His backyard was long, and at the end of it, there was this hill that was pretty big. Well, then it snowed a lot. So he grabbed the shovel, and he went to work. He used the snow to make his hill even bigger, and then he carved out 3 different sledding tracks. Yes. Yes! This is gonna be awesome. These tracks had barriers, even jumps. When he was done, he strung Christmas lights around the yard, and he set up speakers blasting holiday music. And pretty soon, all the kids in the neighborhood noticed this, and they all wanted to have some fun. Alright, I'm charging $5 to get in, but that includes a sled, Christmas music, and free hot chocolate. I'm in! And that night, the yard looked like a festival. A line of kids from the neighborhood, cash in hand, everybody in snowsuits, sleds sliding down the hill, and Christmas music blasting. Even the parents were there, all hanging out with each other. This is actually pretty cool. I can't believe the kids did this. I know, right? It was a great night, and eventually everybody went home. But that kid used the money he made that night to buy his entire family Christmas gifts, and that is beautiful. A beautiful lunchtime service. While everybody else ate chicken nuggets on plastic plates, a couple students disappeared every single lunch period and came back smelling like meat and potatoes. The chef, his name was Liam. What's up? I'm Liam. Both of Liam's parents were chefs, so he grew up learning the trade. Now at school, he had cooking class first period, and he had a free period right before lunch. So he launched a business. For $30, you got a private table backstage of the auditorium, a 3-course meal he cooked the night before, fresh linens, candlelight, and music. He would reheat everything in the cooking room, and he would plate it himself, and he served it to his guests wearing an apron, gloves, and a chef hat. And the thing is, people booked this service every single day to impress their crush. This is nice, huh? It's delicious. You really outdid yourself here. To settle rivalries, I'll stop stealing your pencils, but you gotta stop tying my shoes together during class. Fine, you have a deal. Tiramisu for you both? Ah, yes, thank you. This is lovely. Some kids even booked it to make business deals. I'll sell your product at the basketball games, but I want 15%, 10%. But I have a new business launching soon, and I'll get you in on the ground floor, 50-50. You have a deal. Tiramisu? Ah, yes, please. This is lovely. And spots filled up in advance. This service was booked like 3 weeks. He only did 1 table a day. He never advertised. It was simply word of mouth. If you wanted to book, you would have to come up to him and say, "Chef, do you still offer your service?" "Absolutely. I could fit you in 2 weeks on the 17th. I'll take it." Holy crap. You gotta respect the hustle. When he was 10 years old, he lived in the middle of nowhere, Idaho. Big empty field behind his house. Every August, he would drag a folding chair out there. He would lean back and he would watch the meteors fly by. Well, one night he was sitting out there. He'd already seen 30 of them. But then there was this one. It was big, and it didn't streak by. It wasn't a quick flash. He saw it, and then suddenly it grew as if it was coming closer to him. And he swears, as it got over his head, he could hear it sizzling, and he said he felt the heat. He turned around and he watched it fly over his house. It went right over his head, low, fast. It vanished past the tree line, and then boom, he heard it. It sounded like a car dropped from the sky. He spent the rest of summer looking for whatever that was that fell out of the sky. Every day, backpack full of bug spray and his bike. He thought if he found it, maybe it would be something crazy. He never did find it, and his parents thought it was his imagination running wild. And maybe it was, but also, maybe it wasn't. It was peak fidget spinner era, and everybody wanted one. Well, this kid named Dylan went to the store one night with his older brother, and he bought a bunch of fidget spinners. And the next day, he brought them to school in a briefcase. And it wasn't just spinners, it was fidget toys of all kinds. Well, he began renting them out to other students. Basic is $1 an hour, premium is $2. How long you want it for? And he had late fees of $1 per hour. There were memberships and tiers. Tier 1 was the best tier, but if you started being late when you were returning your fidgets, you would be moved down to tier 2. And if you kept messing up with him, you were tier 3, meaning you can only rent out the worst fidgets he had. Tier 1 would get discounts and the premium fidgets. Tier 3 would have to pay a security deposit before they even got it. And if you broke it, it was a $15 damage fee. And business was booming. People were actually renting these things out. He even had a side business where he would just straight up sell these fidgets to people. The teachers were like, "Hey, Dylan, why are kids handing you money in the hallways? Don't worry about it, teach. That's business, baby." One day, a teacher confiscates his entire briefcase. But that doesn't stop him. He just went to the store that night with his brother and bought more. But these ones were even better. They had LED lights in them. "Yo, dude, I thought you were shut down." "Nah, man, I reinvented. This is phase 2, baby." And he continued until people realized it was way cheaper to buy their own instead of renting them out from him. And it all kind of fizzled out. But hey, you gotta respect the hustle. This kid ran a snowball fight business. Listen up. When everyone got to school, there was no snow on the ground at all. By lunch, snowflakes were coming down pretty heavily. And by 3 p.m., there was an entire foot of snow. So, during the last few periods of the day, everyone's talking about this snowball fight. "Yo, there's so much snow outside. You heard about the snowball fight we're gonna have?" "I'm so excited." Kids are talking strategies. Some of them are picking teams. But here's the twist. The entire snowball fight, well, that was Kyle's idea. I'm Kyle. That was my idea. And Kyle wasn't thinking about teams or strategies, none of that. Kyle was thinking business. Because he knew the storm was coming. He checked the radar the night before. He's a weather nerd, kind of like me. But anyway, and he brought something to school that nobody else had. A frickin' snowball maker. This little scoop press thing that makes perfect snowballs. As soon as the last bell of the day rings, the whole school rushes outside. Well, Kyle breaks into a sprint. While everyone else is still putting on gloves and getting ready, he's already in production mode. Scoop, press, done. Scoop, press, done. Scoop, press, done. Yes, perfect snowballs, identical size, elite density. He stacks them in a cardboard box like it's artillery. Kids run up to him begging for ammo. "Yo, Kyle, let me get 5. What do you got?" Kyle didn't even set prices. He just said, "Trade me anything." Snacks, Pokemon cards, mechanical pencils, leftover lunch money. Somebody even traded him a hat. Within 10 minutes, he built the first ever snowball economy. Then the war begins. Hundreds of kids sprinting across the fresh snow, screaming, fighting. Then half of them are using Kyle's ammo. When the teachers finally came outside to shut it down, Kyle wasn't even there. He was sitting in his living room, counting his trades. His pocket and his backpack were overflowing with random loot. That went down as the craziest snowball fight in these people's lives. And the one person that they remember for making it awesome was Kyle. And that is amazing. One day, randomly, this kid told his teacher, "My grandma died." "Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry to hear that." Well, that night, the teacher emails the mom. I just wanted to say, I'm thinking of your family. Deborah was such a good woman. May she rest in peace. The mom reads it, and she freezes. Wait, what? Her mother-in-law wasn't dead. She was literally at bingo that night. A few minutes later, a different mom from school calls her. We're all gonna miss her so much. She was such an incredible woman. No, I'm sorry, there must be some sort of confusion. She's not dead. By the end of the night, half of the neighborhood is sending their condolences. Everyone thinks Grandma's gone. This one family even dropped off a casserole. She then confronts her kid. Hi, did you tell everyone that Grandma died? Yes. Why? I don't actually know. The mom then calls her mother-in-law to warn her about this entire situation. Oh, hi, sweetie. B27. Crap. Hey, Deb, so apparently you died today? Oh, well, no one told me. That's good to know. G26. Bingo! Water fountain, toilet, sink. After school one day, all the theater kids were in rehearsal, and the rest of the school was pretty much empty. Well, one kid managed to slip away. He was wandering around until he came across a bathroom that was under construction. And over the next hour, he managed to drag a sink, a urinal, and a water fountain out into the back of the school. And then when his brother came to pick it up, they put all this stuff in his brother's car. Dude, what is all this? Trust me. And because the pipes weren't hooked up to the bathroom yet, no one noticed. It's not like he ripped them off the wall and water started spraying anywhere. He pretty much just took this stuff. Well, that night he set up all this stuff in his garage and made it look like a freaking art piece. Water fountain, sink, toilet, lined up. He even had a lamp shining on it, like a museum. The next day, he walked around the school and he spread the word. Yo, after school, come to my garage, check it out. Yo, after school, I got a urinal in my garage. Yo, water fountain in my garage after school. Be there. Kids are like, what the heck is this guy going on about? But a handful of them showed up to his garage after school. He charged them $2 and they were able to come and witness this. Yo, bro, where did you get this stuff? Dude, this is insane. Can I use it? No. He even had a sign, no touching the art. Eventually the school found out what he did and he was suspended for a week. But for a short while he ran a bathroom museum in his garage. And you know what? You gotta respect the hustle.